Does not have that muted. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to SMU's annual Honors Convocation. Today's a special day for our students as we recognize outstanding academic achievement in all disciplines. The procession of student honorees begins in approximately 5 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, SMU is pleased to present this year's students receiving recognition at today's Honors Convocation. Leading the student procession is Chief Marshal Thomas Osang, who carries the ceremonial Bradley Kent Carter baton. Following Chief Marshal Osang are National Fellowship semifinalists and finalists, students receiving university awards, higher society inductees, and SMU's outstanding senior students. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as we present representatives of the faculties of SMU, led by Faculty Emeriti and Faculty Marshal Daniel Reynolds. Presenting the platform party for today's celebration, and the president of SMU, R. Gerald Turner. Preceding President Turner is SMU's ceremonial mace, carried by David Sedman, President of the SMU Faculty Senate, and ex officio member of the SMU Board of Trustees. Please continue to stand as we welcome members of the Platform Party.
Thank you, Imperial Brass, for that wonderful processional music. I'll ask the audience to please continue to stand. I'm Elizabeth Laboa, Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs of Southern Methodist University. It is my privilege to welcome you to the university's annual Honors Convocation as part of our Celebration of Excellence Weekend, where we celebrate a variety of achievements across campus. Reverend Lisa Garvin, chaplain and minister to the university, will give our invocation.
Let us pray. Giver of abundant gifts, creator of all life, sustainer of hope, redeemer of each failure. Today we celebrate excellence in research and creativity and give thanks for persistence and innovation. As we celebrate the accomplishment of these remarkable students, we are keenly aware of those who challenged and supported them along the way: faculty, family, mentors, and friends. May each one honored here offer their gifts of knowledge and service to shaping a world of justice, compassion, and hope for others. With gratitude, we pray in our collective faith. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Garvin. Everyone, please be seated. Here beside me on stage today sits SMU's Howard Lantern. This serves as a symbol of the light of learning and intellectual curiosity within our community. It is especially fitting to have the lantern here as we gather for Honors Convocation, an SMU tradition where we recognize the significance of academic excellence to our university and the constellation of our schools. It is appropriate, in fact essential, that we recognize academic excellence as exemplified by the achievements of our students. I wish to acknowledge members of the Platform Party, and I will ask each to stand briefly when announced. Please hold your applause until all introductions are made. R. Gerald Turner, President of SMU. David Miller, Chair of the SMU Board of Trustees. David Sedman, President of the SMU Faculty Senate and ex officio member of the Board of Trustees. Casey Maje, Senior Vice President for Student Affairs. Nathan Balke, Elizabeth Martin Armstrong Dean ad interim of Dedman College of Humanities and Sciences. Sam Holland, Alger H. Meadows Dean of Meadows School of the Arts. Matt Myers, Dean, Edwin L. Cox School of Business, Tolleson Chair in Business Leadership, and David B. Miller Endowed Professor. Nader Jalili, Mary and Richard Templeton Dean of the Bobby B. Lyle School of Engineering. Hugo Magallanes, Dean ad interim of Perkins School of Theology. Robin Poston, Dean of Moody School of Graduate and Advanced Studies. Carissa Cloward, Associate Professor and Platform Marshal. David D. Doyle, Jr., Dean of Honors and Scholars Programs. Elena Hicks, Assistant Vice Provost and Dean of Admission and Marshal Lector. Barbara Hill Moore, Senior Associate Dean for Faculty, Professor of Voice in Meadows and School of the Arts, and today's convocation speaker. Willis Jones, Associate Professor and Department of Applied Physiology and Sport Management Chair ad interim for Simmons School of Education and Human Development. Brandon G. Miller, Assistant Dean of Honors and Scholars and Director of the University Honors Program. Melinda Sutton, Associate Vice President for Student Affairs and Dean of Students. Ulysses Aguilar, winner of the Margaret Terry Crooks Award for Excellence in Creative Writing. Sarah Navy, student vocalist. Regina Moreno Vera, winner of the Best Undergraduate Research Poster. Please join me in thanking these members of our platform party. I would now ask the representatives of our faculty, both retired and in service, to please stand. These are our colleagues. Please remain standing. These are the mentors of those whom we honor. Please join me in recognizing all of them with your applause. Thank you. Thank you, faculty. I would also like the numerous university administrators and staff in the audience today from SMU's Provost Office and other offices across campus to please stand. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your support of the outstanding students. In addition, and finally, last but not least, and frankly the most important, I ask the parents, families, and friends of those who we are honoring today, please stand and be recognized. Parents, families, friends. These amazing students could not do it without your support, so thank you. Academic achievement comes in many forms. We have two special presentations today illustrating the many ways our students excel at SMU. First, Ulysses Aguilar, candidate for the degree Bachelor of Arts with major in Political Science. Ulysses is the winner of the Margaret Terry Crooks Award for Excellence in Creative Writing, and he will recite his poem, Show Me the Sky. Following his recitation, Regina Moreno Vera, senior biology and psychology double major and first place winner of the undergraduate research poster session, will share her research titled Neuropsychiatric Abnormalities in KCNA1 Mouse Models of Epilepsy and Ataxia. First, Mr. Aguilar.
Show me the sky. I want to learn how to live. You don't understand. Desire to continue to gnaw on my hands and curiosity's jaws keep at my throat. and I can only imagine the sight of twinkling stars. Is the night sky built from rays of light that beam down like spotlights on a stage? And if I'm looking up from the audience, would my open hands still be able to reach out and palm a wisp of light? And if I dare go up and stand on stage with open sky, will the wind be so gracious as to lift me up and let me graze the stars with the skin of my own two hands? Too long do I look up at an empty ceiling and find myself swimming across the cosmos. Is it viscous and purple? Is this what space has always been? A pool of syrup that binds us to this rock? Or is it a floating crib that rocks us like babies? I want to grow giant. I want to be larger than life. I want to reach up there and trek across the murky stars, and if God allows it, I want to pick them out of their milky vineyards and shove them in my mouth like forbidden grapes. Thank you.
When people ask me what I research, my answer is neuropsychiatric abnormalities of KCNA mouse models of epilepsy and ataxia. That just rolls off the tongue, huh? But when people ask me what I actually do, the answer is a little different. I spend up to 20 hours a week handling mice, carefully making sure that they're comfortable with me, so that when it comes down to doing the behavioral tests, they don't have a mental breakdown. I once spent over 6 weeks designing what was essentially a glorified bedpan for mouse urine collection because apparently even mice get performance anxiety. I sing to them, I talk to them, I explain to them what's about to happen. Not because they understand, but because I believe in treating them with dignity. It probably isn't what you picture when you think of animal research, but I argue this is what good research looks like. It's slow. It's meticulous, it's built on compassion and respect, but research, at its core, when done ethically, upholds the sanctity of life. Every mouse, every moment in lab is part of a bigger effort to understand the human brain and ultimately to make life for those living with neurological and psychiatric disorders better. Hi, my name is Regina Moreno Vera, and I've had the privilege for the past few years to work with Dr. Edward Glasscock in his cardiorespiratory neurogenetics laboratory conducting independent research. At its heart, my work is just a fancy way of asking how do seizures, and more importantly, the genes behind them, affect mental health. You may not know this, but people with epilepsy are significantly more likely to experience anxiety, depression, and autism spectrum disorder. They are 2 times as likely to commit suicide. But why is that? Is it brain damage caused by seizures, or is it something deeper, something in the genes themselves? To explore this, I worked with mouse models, each carrying a mutation linked to either epilepsy or ataxia. These behavioral tests that we ran looked for signs of depression, anxiety, and autism spectrum disorder-like behaviors. These tests revealed that both mice that experience seizures and those who are genetic carriers but not expressors of epilepsy had higher rates of depression, anxiety, and autism spectrum disorder-like behaviors. But what does that even mean? It means that these genetic mutations, even when seizures aren't present, are deeply tied to mental health outcomes. This matters not just for those with epilepsy, but for family members who carry these mutations without ever showing symptoms. It matters for undiagnosed individuals struggling with mental health issues, where the root cause might lie deeper than we think. As the great Carl Sagan once said, the nitrogen in our DNA, the calcium in our teeth, the iron in our blood, were made in the interiors of collapsing stars. We are made of star stuff. And just like stars, we are complex, interconnected, and built from forces far beyond what we see. This research isn't about finding a magical cure. It's about building empathy, developing targeted support systems, and shaping a world where neuropsychiatric disorders are treated with the depth and seriousness they deserve. Because behind every gene, there's a person. Behind every disorder, there's a story worth understanding. Each person is made from the dust of stars, a product of infinite chance connections, statistically improbable. Our knowledge of this compels us as researchers and fellow humans to honor our shared humanity through our work. Understanding the intricate mechanisms behind neuronal functions empowers scientists to tackle neurological disorders that rob individuals of their fundamental rights to health and autonomy. By unraveling these complexities, we can develop targeted treatments that improve quality of life and uphold the sanctity of life. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Aguilar and Ms. Moreno-Vera, and congratulations on these special honors. Ms. Moreno-Vera's work is a reminder to all of us how important university research is for addressing critical problems in healthcare and our society. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my privilege to introduce to you the president of SMU, Dr. R. Gerald Turner.
Thank you, and thank all of you for being with us. But I welcome the honorees, the faculty, staff, friends, family, and special guests. It's a real pleasure to greet you as we begin really the end of the academic semester, where all of the honors and awards are given, and all of you end up making straight A's on your last semester of work. SMU is renowned for its commitment to academic integrity and intellectual inquiry. The students we celebrate here reflect the highest standards of these qualities. They've shown remarkable discipline and excellence during their time on the hilltop, preparing them to make meaningful contributions wherever they go. We're especially honored today to welcome one of SMU's most enduring figures and most honored figures, Barbara Hill Moore, as our distinguished speaker today. For over 50 years, she has helped shape the Meadows School of the Arts, where she currently serves as Senior Associate Dean for Faculty and Meadows Foundation Distinguished Professor of Voice. Her impact as a teacher, mentor, and international opera singer has been felt in classrooms and on stages literally around the world. A defining aspect of her legacy is how she has connected SMU with the world. In 2000, she began building relationships with universities and communities in South Africa. Seizing the transformative energy following the end of apartheid, through her travels, voice lessons, and participation in artistic panels, she inspired a new generation of artists. Over the years, dozens of South African voice students have studied at SMU thanks to her influence. They, along with singers she's mentored across North America, Europe, Asia, and Africa, have amplified Professor Hill Moore's positive impact far beyond our campus. In 1995, she established the Barbara Hill Moore and Bruce Foote Foundation Memorial Scholarship Foundation to honor her former teacher, colleague, and friend, Bruce Foote. The foundation has propelled many recipients to achieve successful music careers as opera singers and as voice teachers. At SMU, her notable ability to engage with students has earned her numerous accolades, including the SMU Distinguished University Citizen Award, the SMU Faculty Career Achievement Award, the M Award, the highest honor a member of the SMU community can receive from their colleagues. So please join me in welcoming Professor Barbara Hill Moore to share her wisdom at your honors convocation this year. Professor Moore.
Thank you very much, President Turner, Provost Laboa, honored guests, honored scholars, colleagues, family, and friends. What a joy and an honor it is to speak to you today and to celebrate your remarkable, remarkable honors. When invited to speak, I hope to offer words of encouragement, both fresh and sincere, something to inspire you to continue your outstanding journeys with optimism, determination, and perseverance. And in doing so, I thought I'd share a little of my own journey. I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri, the oldest of 6 children, and I was the first in my family to graduate high school, although my mother earned her diploma the same year as I received my undergraduate degree. education was taken seriously in my home. And I can't really remember a time in my life when I didn't dream of being a teacher. My parents said that at 6 years old, and by the end of the first grade, I had declared my desire to teach, and I was corralling my younger siblings and neighbor children into singing and reading classes on every rainy day. I believe, and I believed, that teaching was my calling. Later, I discovered that singing, too, was a deep passion, and to my surprise, the two were inseparable. That discovery shaped my path, but it was not always clear to me. I graduated high school in a large class, nearly 400, and I was 6th, but I had no counseling and no guidance on applying to college, and my parents couldn't help me with that. I only applied to 2 schools, Boston University and Lincoln University of Missouri, because teachers recommended them to me. With no concept of how I would get through school and no concept of how I would get to school, I chose Lincoln because it was close, I knew where it was, and I knew how I could get there. With the encouragement of my high school sweetheart, Lee, and the financial support of my great Aunt Clara, who earned $60 a week working in a dry cleaner's and sent me 10 of them every Friday until I graduated. At Lincoln University, I threw myself into everything: concerts, civic events, recitals, choir tours, service projects. I mean everything. Sign carrying, sit-ins. It was, after all, the early 60s. In my senior year, at the beginning of my student teaching, my high school supervising music teacher resigned to take another position. Suddenly, I was in charge of the entire program, planning lessons, leading rehearsals, and even producing the school's largest Christmas program to date, they tell me. Still, after that graduation, I didn't know my next step, but I believed I would teach. And just weeks later, I was offered an interview at the Title I school in Kinloch, Missouri, the first black town in the state. My classes were large, over 100 6th and 7th grade boys on Monday and Wednesday, and even more girls of the same age on Tuesday and Thursday. But I loved every moment of it. And after 3 years, I wanted to be challenged more. I returned to graduate school at the University of Illinois. Despite applying late, I was accepted. I petitioned to begin in summer and to take an overload of credits. And I completed the full master's plus 30 with a fellowship in just over a year. During graduate study, I sang more than ever before, and I became confident in my performances. I began to envision a life where teaching and singing could coexist, each enhancing the other. A question from my graduate school major professor of I could do both. Following graduate school, I was prepared to return to teach in the St. Louis public school system until I received a call from Millikan University. Millikan is a small private Presbyterian-founded school 2.5 hours from St. Louis. I stayed there for 5 years, loving every moment. My husband, Lynn Lee, and I built our first home and grew comfortable, and I grew successful in my work and he in his. Then one day I received a call inviting me to interview at SMU. Well, of course, I knew of SMU, but I never dreamt I'd come to Texas to find it. There had been a failed search in Voice, and a colleague encouraged me to send in my CV and other application materials. So I Xeroxed my credentials and flew to Texas. It was March 4th, 1974, 84 degrees, green, sunny, and fabulously beautiful to me, coming from stormy, snowy Decatur, Illinois. I remember thinking, this place suits both my energy and my clothes. So the position required teaching, performing, and designing a vocal pedagogy course, and I was up for all three. Most exciting of all, my mentor from graduate school, Bruce Foote, had retired to Dallas to golf year-round, he thought, and was teaching part-time at SMU. He had been the first to tell me that I could be both a teacher and an artist performer. I couldn't wait to see him and to show him my growth. In my final interview with the dean before leaving campus, I asked him whether there were other tenured Black faculty at SMU, because in those 3 days, I hadn't seen any. I was told there were none, not in Meadows, nor in the university. But being first never slowed me or frightened me. My grandmother had told me that if I were prepared, doors would open for a purpose, and that I should walk through them, knowing who and whose I am. Teaching at SMU has brought me joy and opportunities to sing and teach, as you've heard, on 4 continents, but it hasn't been without challenges. I wanted to see a more diverse student body, and I wanted a more diverse faculty in the Meadows School especially. I struggled to convince African American students and faculty that they belonged and that they could succeed here. And that's when another door opened for me. I went in 1999 and again in 2000, driving on the wrong side of the road in South Africa, and I traveled, taught, and performed throughout the country. In January 2001, I brought 3 South African students to SMU and helped fund their studies through what began as the Bruce Foote Foundation and later joined with my name. Since then, the foundation has brought 35 South African students here and hundreds of American students. It has also taken hundreds of SMU students to study and to sing together with South African students in South Africa. Today, our foundation scholars perform on stages around the world and serve as the leaders, teachers, professors, deans, and chairs of the top universities across the African continent, most notably the University of Cape Town, the University of KwaZulu-Natal, the University of South Africa, Nelson Mandela University, and many others, many in North America. in South Carolina, North Carolina, Texas, and Oklahoma. So what's the message I want to leave with you today? Let joy be your fuel. Let purpose guide you. Experiencing joy in your work does not require sacrifice. In fact, it's what sustains you during challenges, when things are difficult, whether they be student loans or summer jobs or study abroad experiences or personal relationships. Work towards the things that bring you energy, especially when it helps someone else. We are not only celebrating your achievements today, we're celebrating your courage to dream, to question, to build something that may not yet exist. Whether your path is in science, technology, the arts, or the humanities, your future can be the rest and the result of not only your work, but of your vision. And if you've ever been told that your profession must be singular, that you must choose, I urge you to question it. Who told you you couldn't teach and sing? Remember who you are, and remember whose you are. Sing your song and teach it along the way. Lift your friends, collaborate, encourage your classmates, and all whom you meet. Thank those who have helped you and sustained you through your journey. I promise you, in helping and lifting others, you will grow beyond anything you imagined. Good luck and Godspeed in your work, in your joy, and in your dreams. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Hillmore. Beautiful, thoughtful, and insightful remarks. As we celebrate excellence and the work required to create that excellence, one manifest symbol is, of course, as you've heard, our vocal music program. We are pleased and proud to have with us today Sarah Navy, candidate for Performer Diploma in Vocal Performance and Master of Music. Professor Brian Bentley will accompany Miss Navy on the piano. Miss Navy.
He's got the whole world in his hands. 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 He's got the woods and the waters in his hand. He's got the woods and the waters in his hands. He's got the sun and the moon right in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the birds and the bees right in his hands. He's got the birds and the bees right in his hands. He's got the beast of the field right in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got you and me right in his hand. He's got you and me right in his hands. He's got everybody in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got you and me right in his hands. He's got you and me right in his hands. He's got everybody in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Navy. That was a wonderful performance. I'm going to now ask Dr. David Doyle, Dean of Honors and Scholars Programs and the Director of Dedman College Scholars Program, to recognize the graduating students of the University Honors Program and the newest members of our honor societies on campus.
Thank you, Provost Laboa. Two ways in which we recognize our most distinguished students are through the University Honors Program or by inviting them to join one of our honor societies. We are pleased to have with us today seniors who have completed the University Honors Program, as well as the newest members of 12 honor societies, representing a variety of disciplines across campus. I'll begin with the UHP. Will the students who have completed the University Honors Program please rise and be recognized? UHP students, please rise. Congratulations to you. All of our honor societies and their members are listed in your programs. I will now go to the first, Alpha Chi, the National Honor Society for All Disciplines. Will our newest members of Alpha Chi please rise? Alpha Chi students, congratulations. You may be seated. Congratulations. Beta Gamma Sigma, the National Honor Society for Business. Will you please rise? Congratulations. Eta Kappa Nu, the National Honor Society for Electrical Engineering and Computer Engineering. Will these members please rise? Congratulations. Kappa Tau Alpha, the Honor Society for Communication Arts. Will you please rise? Congratulations. You may be seated. Now, the next society was one of the first on campus. It opened a chapter in 1932. Mortarboard, will the newest members of Mortarboard Honor Society please rise? Congratulations. You may be seated. Omega Rho, the National Honor Society for Operations Research and Management Science. Will these students please rise? Congratulations to you. The next Honor Society was founded in 1776 and was chartered here at SMU in 1949. I remember it well. Will the newest members of Phi Beta Kappa please rise? Congratulations. You may be seated. Pi Kappa Lambda, the National Honor Society for Academic and Musical Accomplishment. Will these students please rise? Congratulations. Salute, the Veterans National Honor Society for student veterans, active duty, and reserve members. Do we have any salute members? Will you please rise? Tau Beta Pi, the National Honor Society for Engineering. Will you please rise? Congratulations. Tau Sigma, the National Honor Society for Transfer Students. Will our Tau Sigma members please rise? Congratulations. You may be seated. So I extend my congratulations to all of our University Honors Program and Honor Society students for your many achievements. We're very proud of what you've accomplished. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Doyle. I add my congratulations to all of you recognized. I now call upon the leaders of our 5 undergraduate schools to recognize students receiving departmental awards. Nathan Balke, Elizabeth Martin Armstrong Dean ad interim of Dedman College of Humanities and Sciences will begin, followed by Sam Holland, Alger H. Meadows Dean of Meadows School of the Arts. We will then continue with Matt Myers, Dean of the Edwin L. Cox School of Business, Tolleson Chair in Business Leadership, and David Miller Endowed Professor. Then Mary and Richard Templeton Dean Nader Jalili of the Lyle School of Engineering, and Willis Jones, Chair ad interim and Associate Professor of Annette Caldwell Simmons School of Education and Human Development. A listing of all departmental awards begins on page 9 of your programs. Dr. Balke?
Will all students receiving departmental awards in Dedman College of Humanities and Sciences please rise? Professor Turner and Provost LeBeau, on behalf of the faculty of Dedman College, it is my pleasure to present to you these students recognized today for their achievements in the humanities, natural and mathematical sciences, statistical studies, and the social sciences, as well as those who are Hamilton and Robert Meyer undergraduate research scholars and fellows. Congratulations on your accomplishments.
Will all students receiving departmental awards in the Meadows School of the Arts please rise? President Turner, Provost LeBeau, on behalf of the faculty of Meadows, it's my pleasure to present to you these students recognized today for their achievements in the arts, communications, film and media arts, dance, music, and theater. Congratulations, each of you, on your accomplishments.
Will all students receiving departmental awards in the Edwin L. Cox School of Business please rise? President Turner and Provost Laboa, on behalf of the faculty of Cox, it is my pleasure to present to you these students recognized today for their achievements in accounting, finance, management, marketing, real estate, strategy, and entrepreneurship. Congratulations, everyone.
Will all students receiving department awards in the Bobby B. Lyle School of Engineering please rise? President Turner and Provost Laboa, on behalf of the faculty of Lyle, it's my pleasure to present to you these students recognized today for their achievements in civil and environmental engineering, computer science, electrical and computer engineering, mechanical engineering, operational research, and engineering management. Congratulations on your accomplishment.
Will all students receiving departmental awards in the Annette Caldwell Simmons School of Education and Human Development please rise? President Turner and Provost Laboa, on behalf of the faculty of Simmons, it is my pleasure to present to you these students recognized today for their achievements in education, applied physiology, and sport management. Congratulations.
Thank you, and congratulations to all of you receiving these awards. One of the great pleasures of being a part of this university community is the joy we take from one another's success. So it is today, as we recognize the academic success of those who have achieved high honors through receiving prestigious fellowships and university-wide awards. Those inducted this year into the Robert Stewart Higher Society, SMU's highest academic honorary for academically achieving students, as well as SMU's outstanding senior men and women. Intellectual and creative curiosity is enlightened and transformed into wisdom only through intense study and discipline, which have certainly been demonstrated by these fine students. I now ask Alina Hicks, Marshal Lector and Assistant Vice Provost and Dean of Admission, to announce these awardees, beginning with students receiving national fellowships and awards. All awardees are gifted an Honors Convocation pen, symbolizing scholarship and outstanding academic achievement. Just as a quill and scroll were used to learn and perform research centuries ago in higher education, this pen represents a connection to our academic past and an instrument to use in future academic pursuits. Undergraduate fellowship students will be greeted by me, followed by Brandon Miller, Assistant Dean for University Honors Program and Fellowships, followed by President Turner and Faculty Senate President David Sedman.
I now call on Brandon Miller, Assistant Dean of Honors and Scholars and Director of the University Honors Program, to help us honor those recognized for undergraduate national fellowship awards. Joshua Warren Anji, Churchill Scholarship, National Science Foundation, Graduate Research Fellowship Program. Victoria Kuchina, semifinalist, Fulbright English Teaching Assistantship to Czech Republic. Parini Dharmesh Shah, semifinalist, Fulbright English Teaching Assistantship to Laos. Anna Kelly Zilka, semifinalist, Fulbright English Teaching Assistantship to Laos, Japan Exchange and Teaching Program. Anika Taylor Krieger, semifinalist, Fulbright English Teaching Assistantship to Peru, Princeton and Latin America Fellow. Fiona L. Graybill, semifinalist, Fulbright English Teaching Assistantship to Uzbekistan. We congratulate these undergraduate students who received a National Fellowship Award. We will now honor those receiving university awards. Lauren Elizabeth Figura, Ben Thomas Excellence in Tutoring Award. We congratulate the students who receive university awards today. I now call on David D. Doyle, Jr., Dean of Honors and Scholars Programs, to help us honor those inducted into the Robert Stewart Higher Society. Samantha Daniela Augustus. Matthew Ryan Benedict. Miles Chen. Xander William Crowns. Jasmine Amari Darjean. Kareem Alejandro Faraj. Andrew George Farhat. Julianne Ga Yin Flynn. Gentry Dawn Lamarand. Anna Teresa Leo. Juliana Jinyi Liu. Zachary Benjamin Lubar. Courtney Elise McCauley. Kaylee M. Gwynn. Olatomilori Olusun Olujobi. Samuel Lopez Roddick. Amberly Brooks Seaburn. Jane Ellen Tompkins. Rakesh Vincott. James Dylan Vincent. Elise Ann Waterston. Millennium Blessing Wita. Holly Sandra Shu. We congratulate the students from the Robert Stewart Higher Society who are recognized today. Thank you, Dean Doyle. Together with the SMU Mothers and Dads Clubs, we wish to recognize the outstanding senior men and senior women. Dylan William Walchko, Dedman College of Humanities and Sciences, Outstanding Senior Man nominee and Robert Stewart Higher Society inductee. Meredith Claire Hughes, Dedman College of Humanities and Sciences, Outstanding Senior Woman nominee and Robert Stewart Higher Society inductee. Shivani Kasuri, Meadows School of the Arts Outstanding Senior Woman nominee and semifinalist Fulbright English Teaching Assistantship to Bulgaria. Jude Augustine Lugo, Cox School of Business Outstanding Senior Man nominee. Carter Lewis Spence, Cox School of Business Outstanding Senior Man nominee. Madeline Hart McGrew, Cox School of Business Outstanding Senior Woman nominee. Avery Zulfagari, Cox School of Business Outstanding Senior Woman nominee. Logan Andrew Height, Lyle School of Engineering Outstanding Senior Man nominee. Brianna Nicole Merklin, Lyle School of Engineering Outstanding Senior Woman nominee. Liam T. Sunkel, Simmons School of Education and Human Development Outstanding Senior Man nominee. Claire Marie Fitzgerald, Simmons School of Education and Human Development Outstanding Senior Woman nominee. Ellie N. Lewis, Simmons School of Education and Human Development, Outstanding Senior Woman nominee. SMU Outstanding Senior Man winner and Robert Stewart Higher Society inductee, Kirk Iliriolua Ogurendi. SMU Outstanding Senior Woman winner and Robert Stewart Higher Society inductee, Chloe Lauren Young. We congratulate the SMU Mothers and Dads Club's outstanding senior men and women who are recognized today. Thank you. Feven Cagnew Fasil, Dedman College of Humanities and Sciences, Outstanding Senior Woman nominee.
Let's give them all a big hand one more time. I now invite David Miller, Chair of the SMU Board of Trustees, to extend his congratulations to you. Chairman Miller will be followed by the President of the SMU Faculty Senate, David Sedman. Mr. Miller.
Thank you, Provost LeBeau. Honorees, on behalf of the SMU Board of Trustees, it's my distinct pleasure to extend to you our sincere congratulations. Your remarkable achievements at SMU embody the best qualities of being a Mustang. You make us all extremely proud. Your success on the hilltop goes beyond academic excellence. Here you've honed your curiosity, drive, and critical thinking skills that you will need to make meaningful and very significant contributions wherever you go. Please know that the Board of Trustees is committed to your future excellence. We have very lofty goals for this university's future, and we aim to enhance the value of your degree throughout your lifetime, ensuring that your pride in being a Mustang grows stronger every day. That, in fact, is happening in real time. Our recent entrance into the ACC has not only repositioned our athletic programs, it has catapulted this university's brand to be in a fraternity alongside other high academic universities. And let me say to you that we would have never been given or extended that invitation had it not been for SMU's academic standing. And achieving R1 designation for our research efforts has further enhanced our academic standing. My connection to this great institution has only deepened since I walked across this very stage to get my diploma, MBA degree in 1972. As a student here in both undergraduate and graduate school, I knew the education I received, which I, by the way, didn't pay a dime of tuition for, would be a profound foundation for my future. When I graduated, I promised to myself to stay connected to this place that I love so dearly because, again, it had such a profound influence on me. Now, over 50 years later, I can say that choice has been one of the most fulfilling aspects of my life. While some may say their college years were the best time of their lives, I urge you to carry SMU with you. SMU is one of the very finest universities in the country, thanks to the extraordinary vision and leadership of President R. Gerald Turner for the last 3 decades. Please join me in congratulating. And thanks as well to the positive impact of alumni near and far who remain engaged in our mission and our values and continue to invest deeply in the university future. Always remember you are a Mustang for life. Once again, congratulations to each and every one of you and your proud parents. We can't wait to see what you do next. Go Mustangs.
And I want to thank Mr. Miller for all he's done to improve the student academic experience here at SMU. I teach in your building every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and state-of-the-art wonderful. So thank you so much for what you do. You know, we appropriately cheer for our performing arts students and our athletes, many of whom are here today, when they hit their marks deliver on their respective stages. So today, I can't tell you the joy that we get from cheering you all on for making your marks here at the classroom at SMU. A number of you brought your biggest fans and supporters, and I want to thank again all the parents, extended family, and friends for sharing your talented loved ones with our university. We can never repay you for that. Now, you graduates have gone above and beyond. You've consistently exceeded expectations, and by likely attending almost all, if not all of your classes, except those with classes right now, I don't know how that works, you've just made the job of teaching fun for all of us, including my colleagues here, and I thank you for being here, and I thank the great Barbara Hillmore. You know, we spend a little more time when we're asked to write letters of recommendation for you guys. We're honored when you return to campus either to visit us for an advanced degree or just coming here to visit us. And if you hear us clapping a decibel or two higher at your graduation ceremonies about a month from now, I want you to please consider that as a well-deserved encore for today's celebration. On behalf of the SMU faculty, we wish you the brightest of bright futures because, doggone it, you've earned it.
Thank you, Mr. Miller and Professor Sedman. We have now reached the conclusion of our convocation. I congratulate all of you, those honored and those honoring, and also the incredible families, friends, and parents of all of you students. The university hymn will be performed by Sarah Navy, so I'll ask you to remain in place until the conclusion of the recessional, when you will be dismissed by Chief Marshal Osang. Miss Navy.